What's up, everyone? Just wanted to give you a quick update on the portfolio after October. So, October finished really, really well. Um, we finished at 6.8%, which is our best month of the year by quite a bit. Um, most of it, to be honest, has been down to the exposure to crypto, mainly Bitcoin. It's my largest position as usual. It's got where the most risk is, but we profited nicely off the recent pump from the markets, which is great. I think from my perspective, I always ensure that I have a good exposure to crypto. I do feel that with Bitcoin and Ethereum, I mean, they follow so closely to the 4 year cycle. This is almost spot on. I would have liked to have bought more positions when we were going through the bear market at scale. Um, but I still think there's opportunities, and I will potentially look to add more positions soon. And I will update you all when that happens. So let's just quickly just jump into what the portfolio looks like at the moment. I'm just going to jump in here. Let's pull up this nice summary chart. So as we can see, 40% of my breakdown of my portfolio is in crypto. Um, I'm happy enough with this, to be honest, right now. What it's meant for me really is we've kept a really low risk score over the last 12 months. It's mainly been down just to holding my positions, not being too volatile when the markets have been down, just backing my decisions that I've made from years ago. And as you can see from the portfolio risk assessment, Bitcoin, Ethereum, some of the tech stocks, Cardano, even Berkshire Hathaway, which has some tech exposure, you can clearly see that, I'm heavily backing tech and crypto still. Nothing really has changed there. But what you're getting now is you're getting a low risk score with largely exposed positions in crypto and in tech. So just to give you an understanding over the past few years, I'm very much a long-term investor. I try to keep the amount of positions I take quite low. For me, it's really been profitable over the years, and I demonstrate why. And for me, it's what I'm going to continue to do. Currently, we've got about 90% profitability from my copiers. I'm still in cadet, which I plan to try and get myself out of and back to champion popular investor. So continue to do well in performance, keep the risk low, and try and be as attractive popular investor as I can. So just quickly going into some of my performance, as I mentioned, let's look at the performance of my portfolio against the S&P. As I mentioned, we've well outperformed the S&P over the last few years, albeit a bit volatile, but that's mainly down to crypto exposure. Over the last year, we've beaten it almost double. 6 months again, we've outperformed 4x almost on the S&P. And then over the last month, if you look at it, we've outperformed the S&P and also on the weekly. Looking at more the tech-centric indexes, 5 years, we've actually been pretty neck and neck with the Nasdaq. Nasdaq slightly ahead, no problems there. Over the last year, Nasdaq's been a little bit ahead as well. 6 months, slightly outperformed. Over the last month, we've beat the Nasdaq, and over the last week, we beat the Nasdaq. A lot of this is due down to the exposure of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is, naturally kicked my ass over the last 5 years, which is fine. I'm not a Bitcoin only portfolio, which is fine. And there's associated volatility along the way. That comes with the territory. Anyone interested in dividends? I've got 3 dividend paying stock at a lower yield. It's not part of my strategy at the moment. potentially in the future we might go down that route. But for now, it's continuing to hold these positions in crypto. I do feel that over the next few months and into next year, we might go through some more volatility, which is all good. Hopefully, give us more opportunities to buy positions ahead of the halving next year, but also around the speculation of an ETF being approved. Who knows what's going to happen? Whether it's going to happen this year or next year. I feel it will happen at some stage, but what we want to make sure is that we have that good exposure right now to be able to ultimately pick up these opportunities as we get closer. Next week, what I want to do is go into a little bit more detail of some of my thoughts in the short to medium term. But ultimately, what we want to take away from today is October finished strong, really, really happy. It's the lowest yearly drawdown I've had in a long time. Just 10%. I'd love to get that into single figures from a risk perspective, but we can't complain. So all good on my end. Let me know if there's any questions. Happy to answer. Thank you.